What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is the night before the biggest tournament of the year. We're fishing for nearly $60,000 over the next 2 days on legendary Lake Guntersville during the Big Bass Tour. So I'm pumped. I'm ready to get back in the saddle. I haven't fished a tournament in nearly 6 months, so ready to knock the rust off. I'm sure I'm gonna be a little rusty. But guys, we're gonna face some challenges and adversity this week. There's several different factors. I've never fished a big bass format tournament, so I'm gonna have to kind of learn some strategy and be real strategic about you know, where I fish, when I weigh my fish, and I just gotta time everything perfectly. And also we're dealing with a lot of fishing pressure on the lake. So the Big Bass Tour itself has several hundred anglers that compete in this event, plus the Ultimate Angler Championship is on the lake the same weekend, so nearly 200 of your best of the best top level pros and local hammers are battling it out for that. So, and then plus all the normal weekend traffic that you get on Lake Guntersville. So lake's gonna be really crowded. It's gonna be a bunch of pressure. It might be hard to get on some areas. It might be hard to catch some fish, but I know the lake is very healthy and it's got some really big bass. So guys, I'm gonna get some rods rigged up, get some rest tonight, and we'll see you bright and early out on the lake. All the rods on the deck are a mess. Nothing's ready to go. We're gonna start on this offshore bar throwing a chatterbait. My plan was originally to start punching, but as I'm sure you can tell, that wind is blowing on this bar, and I can't tell you how many times I just went off my instinct and pulled up on an offshore spot like this when I know they're in the grass, and just proceeded to catch them. So I'm gonna follow my instincts and at least give it a try for a few minutes. We should know pretty quick if they're here or not. That's a good one. Get in here. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yes. I don't know if he's big enough to make any money, but it's definitely a decent one to start. We'll throw him in the live well real quick. Heck yeah. Dude, that was sick. I was flipping in this one like 10-foot section. I made like 5 or 6 flips in there because I just couldn't get my bait to fall through right. And the first time it fell through right, it just felt so perfect. And boom, there he was. He might be a 3-pounder, might be more. Low 4, I might have a chance to get the last check. They pay top 10 every hour, so let's keep on fishing. Get out of there. Be a big one. Not a big one. He'd be a decent second keeper if we were fishing 5-fish tournament, though. I thought he was a big one for a second. Solid 2.5. Punching bite's a little slower than I anticipated, but man, whew, that got my heart racing, guys. There's nothing like punching fish. Super subtle bite. I flipped it in there and was letting my line fall down. I had the bail on my reel open, and I just barely felt a little tick. Felt like I hit actually felt like I hit a big piece of grass, because a lot of times if you're flipping in a mat that has several different types of grasses, you know, eelgrass on the top, it feels different. And then when you hit the hydrilla, it gives a little tick. That's what it felt like. But I just went ahead, I said hook sets are free, set it, and there he was. There's one. I think he came off. Just a little dude. I mean, I'm talking about little, guys. That's one of the smallest punching fish I've ever caught in my life. I mean, what the heck? That thing not even a pound. That thing was born last week. Look at that. Hey, they're still fun, but I mean, I'm knocking the rust off. I need them to get bigger though. That way I can actually weigh them in and get some money. I think it's 9:30 right now, and it took at least I think it was a 4.4 to get paid in the first hour. My biggest one is a 3.5 right now, so it's definitely not going to cut it. Maybe we'll find a big one here soon. Guys, today has been tough. I haven't been on the lake in, I don't know, probably 2 weeks. So I just kind of ran up the river, fishing the grass stuff. You know, what I'm confident in. I feel like that's the best way to approach a tournament that you don't have any practice with. It's just fish your strengths. So that's what I'm doing. I've caught a couple punching. I threw the frog, no luck. This morning I started off offshore, threw the glide bait, chatterbait, jerkbait for a little bit. And guys, I've only had 3 bites all day, and they've all came in the grass. It's really hard to get on these areas though, because that Ultimate Angler Championship is a no forward-facing sonar tournament. So that is making all those guys fish all the grass mats up here. So it's hard to get on the areas I want to. But it's 10:45. I think I'm gonna start working back down the lake, because the tournament weigh-ins on the other end, on the lower end. I'm way up here by Comer. But just gonna see if we can get something going, guys. Well, we're about to go walk across the street, get some pizza. Sometimes you just need a little reset. Pizza, honey bun, lunch of champions. Bro. I thought those were bass, dude. They're right on top of the water column. That's crazy, dude. Heck yeah. I don't think he's big enough to weigh in, but he's a sure enough good one. Heck yeah, dude. That's fun. No, he's not big enough. Dude. Heck yeah, I gotta stay on these fish. Bro, that's them right there. Those are all bass, I think. That was my first cast in there. That's crazy, dude. They're literally right up under the surface. Here he comes. Oh. Get it, bro. Dang. Come on, dude. I missed that one. There he is. Oh, Spotty dog, my chest camera died. Man, this is fun. They're not big ones, but if I can just figure something out, and that's 2. I've missed a couple. If I can just figure something out scoping, I might start here. There's a ton of bait here, a ton of fish here. They're just being stingy. I have to just be patient, throw out a lot of fish, and minnow them up. We're gonna have to minnow them up, boys. There we go. Man, this is fun. They're not giants, but this one's daggone mean, bro. Boat passing by. Hello, buddy. There's a bunch of fish in this area, though. Let him go. Let him go back. Jighead minnow action. That one fought harder than any of them today. Hey guys, let's have a quick word from the sponsor of today's video, and that is Lithium lithium batteries. So this is my first year ever running lithium batteries. I've always ran, your AGMs or the cheap lead acid batteries, and I've always had issues. I've been a guy that's always had to worry about his battery setup and, fishing tournaments, whether that's leaving me with a dead trolling motor battery or dead cranking battery, it can just really mess up your day of fishing. But ever since making the switch to the Lithium lithium batteries 10 months ago, I've not had any hiccups, no issues. These batteries have performed flawlessly. They've got a great warranty, they've got great customer service, and they've got a great mobile app where you can go in and monitor, your charge time, amperage, voltage, all that good stuff. If you ever were to have an issue on the water, you can have all the tools you need to be able to troubleshoot it. But personally, I haven't had any issues, but it just gives me a good peace of mind to know that I can go in there and monitor my batteries from the app. So guys, if you're interested in trying the Lithium lithium batteries, make sure to use my code JT8 at checkout on the Lithium website to save you 8% off. Thanks again for sponsoring this video, Lithium lithium batteries. Guys, so all I'm doing is finding this bait, that's a bunch of bait, and these fish are staying right below the bottom of the surface of the water. And so I'm not necessarily, I haven't watched all of them eat. I'm just pretty much throwing it out there past the bait and letting it hit the bottom or letting it hit the water and starting to reel, starting to twitch it hard. And those fish are, they're not having to go very far to get it. I did see one that, I think it was that second bite I had that I missed. He was on the bottom and he darted all the way up from the bottom and 16 feet to the top to get it, but he ended up missing it. So I don't know. I only got an hour and a half left. I didn't find this group of fish until late in the day. I'm thinking about starting here in the morning because I think there's some big fish here. Right now I'm just trying to knock the rust off. I haven't scoped in a while, so this is fun though. I think it's potential for at least a couple 4-pounders. I think we could get paid tomorrow with 4-pounders, or if I get lucky and catch a 4-pounder, I'll take it and weigh it and weigh my 3.5 in there, just see if I get lucky and cash a check late in the day today. Well guys, there's 20 minutes to go and we've got the live update from the Big Bass Tour. But the last weigh-in window is 2 to 3 p.m. and 10th place, which is the last check, is 390. I've got like a 3.5. Weigh them just real quick to double check. $3.6. Not a bad fish. I mean, we didn't have a bad day. It was tough. We had to figure out how to get him to bite. Let's get this guy back real quick. He's been in that fish long all day. It's the first fish I caught this morning. No issues. No issues at all with that fish. That fish long oxygen system is pretty dang legit. Guys, let's do a recap real quick. So today was not a complete failure. I found a spot that's got a bunch of bait and a bunch of quality fish. I caught a 3.5 and several that were like 3, 2.5, and there was a lot there, and I didn't find the group until nearly 1 o'clock. So I think I'm gonna start there. And these fish were like right below the surface of the water, and I was just throwing a little, that's a Beast Coast Seduce minnow, I think. It's a pretty new bait. Just got it from Tackle Warehouse not too long ago. And then a 3/16 ounce ball head. And I was just throwing it out there, and as soon as it hit the water, I'd start twitching it and reeling it. They wanted me to burn the bait. So I think I'm just gonna go full scope mode and hit some bridges. That's really the only way I've ever caught fish over 6 or 7 pounds this time of year is fishing bridges. So I think we're gonna start out on those scope fish and then just chase a dang biggin tomorrow, because the goal of this tournament is not to catch a ton of fish. It's not about your best 5 fish. It's just about getting lucky and catching that one true giant. And you know, if we can catch some fish over 4 pounds, we'll get paid. But I'm looking for the winning fish tomorrow. There's so much dang bait out here, dude. So I had one over there on the bank blow up on my Chapo. Deleted the footage instead of saving it on accident, but it looked like a pretty good one. So there's so much bait out here, dude. Like, there was nowhere near this much bait. But anyways, there's a bunch of floating eelgrass too, and it's like the bait are staying right around where the eelgrass is. It's giving them a sense of cover out here in the open. And dude, it's just so hard to keep a bait clean to get them to bite it. And that's what I was having issues with yesterday. I could see these fish under the bait balls that were sitting right up under the floating eelgrass. But I'm not really seeing any of those fish out here. Like, I'm just seeing bait fish. I haven't really seen any bass, which is kind of hard to tell when there's that much bait. But I mean, you see every cast bringing up eelgrass. I don't know if I should stay out here, try to scope these fish, or move to the bank and throw that Chapo. Just work that bank down a little bit more. So, I don't know. We'll give it some time. We've only been here for about 15 or 20 minutes. Bro, I haven't seen... This is like the most bait I've ever seen. Yesterday, I went to a couple of creeks near this area to try to replicate this, and just couldn't get anything firing. I mean, I think I'm seeing a bass every now and then, but it's just like all bait. And I've seen a couple gar. Oh man, I'm just not Not feeling it. This could be a $58,000 bad decision or a good decision, but I think I'm gonna abandon this and run down to the other end of the lake. So once I go down there, I don't think I'll be coming back up here. And this is where I fished yesterday, so pretty much going practicing again. I don't know, guys. Let's see how it shakes out. Good. I think it's a good one. Never mind. Just a spot. Alright. Oh, okay. Spotted bass. Gave my heart a freaking race, man. First cast out there with the jig, I seen a bunch. And I was like, man, they're probably trash fish. But okay, this might have been a good idea to stop here. Let's see if we can catch one. I got my heart racing, man. He freaking thumped the crap out of that jig. Come on. That might be a good one. Nope. Finally boated one though. My goodness. It's starting to get hot. Pulled up on this summertime spot. Seen a ton of fish, so I was like, well, I'll give it a go. I mean, there is a ton of fish here. Got him. That's so cool. I mean, it looks like there's some decent sized fish down in there. At least the ones I saw that came up and blew up on top water. That's how I found, you know, I saw these fish whenever I scanned, but they kind of set up like stripes, so I didn't really pay much attention to them. I kind of moved off to the top of this high spot and started fishing for more of those like traditional offshore fish, like with a jig and a worm and stuff. And then they started blowing up, so I took it off spot lock and shined my scope out there and saw just tons of them chasing shad. So, you know, paying attention to your surroundings and watching, you know, like what the bait's doing, and just looking for active fish with your eyes is really important. Maybe not. Dude. They keep tricking me. Not a terrible one, but not what we're after. Which I did throw against the current that time because the wind's coming against the current, so it's automatically gonna make the fish feel a little bit bigger. Dang. He got that jig though. The thing's like in his freaking skull. I mean, look at that. Died on the hatch. Not a bad one. Super fat. Super fat fish. First cast out there, I just scanned it. I can't believe this. These are summertime spots that I'm catching these fish on. And it's October. Well guys, the bite today has been so odd. We still got 2 hours left, but I'm about to have a little reset. I'm about to eat some lunch. We got some Olive Garden chicken and a Red Bull, 0. Red Bull hopefully will give me some wings. Give some big bass some wings, the way they'll fly in this boat. But looky there, boys. Man, that looks good. If we don't end up catching them, at least we had a good lunch out here. Well, guys, we ended up not catching another fish. That was pretty rough tournament. I can't say that I'm super disappointed though. You know, of course, I was hoping to win that $58,000, or at least a little bit of money. But I could blame it on not practicing. But honestly, this time of year, the fish just move so much. And if you don't time your rotation on these different schools of fish, then your whole day's out of whack. And I just never got on a good timing. Never really locked in on a pattern. As you see yesterday, I punched, caught some minnow fish. I think I caught 1 or 2 minnow fish today. And then caught them on, you know, a summertime pattern, throwing a jig. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. we did some serious junk fishing. Never really got locked in on anything, and I never really even seen any big fish in the areas, you know, physically with my eyes or on live scope. But yeah, so no payday this weekend. I apologize. I don't really feel like the video quality was, you know, what I prefer, what I like to do. You know, most of the time when I'm fishing, I talk a lot, I teach you, walk you through what I'm doing, and I didn't do a good job of that this weekend, so I want to apologize for that. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more tournament fishing, let me know down in the comments below. You know, if you fished this event and you had luck, let me know how you caught them, because I'm genuinely curious, because I couldn't figure them out. Figured out how to catch some fish, just not the right size fish. And looking back, you know, I probably should have punched more. I only did it for like 3 or 4 hours day one and none today. And typically, you know, about 90% of the time, this time of year, that's how I have my success out here on Guntersville. And I just felt like it would be hard for me to catch those big 5-6+ pound bass, because doing that, it's pretty, you know, it's not very common, at least for me, that I catch one that big punching. You know, I'll catch 4 and 4.5 pounders, and yeah, I probably could have gotten paid with some of those, but we were after the big money, and we went big fish hunting, and I felt like the best way for me to do that was to find some deeper fish offshore, down on the lower end on these big bait balls, and it just never happened. I'm sure there were some big ones out there. I'm sure the guys caught them doing that, and I'm sure the guys caught them upriver punching and frogging. But guys, you know what? We'll get them next time. Guys, I want to thank you again so much for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one.